Hi, I'm Mrs. Smith, and welcome back to Math Practice with Mrs. Smith. Today, let's get outside and talk about multiplying some decimals. The first thing I want to point out is that when you're multiplying decimals, you do not need to line up the decimal points, like usually we have to do when we're working with decimals. But when we're multiplying decimals, you do not need to line up the decimal points. You kind of just ignore that they're there and set the problem up just like they were two whole numbers, just like we've always done. And then in the last step, we'll put the decimal point in where it belongs. So we multiply like normal. 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 1 is 4. Now I need to put the decimal point in my answer. So I count how many numbers are after the decimal point in the problem. So there's 1. No digits after the decimal point here because it would be after the 4, so all the numbers are in front of it. So there's 1 number after the decimal point in the problem, so I put 1 number after the decimal point in my answer. Let's try another. Let's see. Let's multiply 42 hundredths times 3 tenths. Notice I didn't line up the decimal points. I just pretended like it was 42 times 3. And then we're going to multiply as usual. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 4, 12. Now I need to place my decimal point. You're not finished till you place the decimal point. So how many numbers are after the decimal point in the problem? 1, 2, 3, because we're counting the whole problem. That's how many digits need to be behind the decimal point in your answer. So I'm going to have to put it here to have 3 digits after my decimal point. So 42 hundredths times 3 tenths is 126 thousandths. So basically, hundredths times tenths will give you thousandths. Yay! I did such a good job. Let's look at this one. Let's multiply 2 and 6 tenths times 2 digits, 13 hundredths, 0.13. Don't line up your decimal points, pretend like they're not there. So it's 26 times 13 is what we're going to multiply it as. So 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1, 7. Before you go to the next number and multiply, you go to the next line and put down your 0 placeholder. 1 times 6. 1 times 2. And then add up your parts. 8 plus 0 is 8. 7 plus 6 is 13. Put your 3, carry your 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Now I need to place my decimal point. So there's 1. And then 2 down here. So 3 numbers after the decimal point in the problem. I need 3 numbers after the decimal point in my answer or the product. So it has to go here to have 3 numbers after it. 2 and 6 tenths times 13 hundredths is 338 thousandths. Wow, this is an awesome way to spend our day. I wonder what's coming up next. Next up, let's multiply 39 hundredths times 2 tenths. I'm going to write the numbers just like it was 39 times 2 and multiply like usual. 2 times 9 is 18. Put my 8, carry my 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Then I'm going to count how many digits are after the decimal point in the problem and put that many digits after the decimal point in my answer. Fill in that empty space with a 0 so I can have 3 places after my decimal point in my answer because there were 3 digits after the decimal point in the problem. Yes, now it's your turn. You ready to give these problems a try? Get out a piece of paper and a pencil and let's try this one. Multiply 2 and 2/10 times, let's just have another 2/10. Set it up, multiply. Don't forget to put your decimal point in the proper place on the very last step. Press pause while you're working and then we'll check it. Ready to check it? 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And then there are 2 digits after the decimal point in the problem. So 2 digits after the decimal point in the answer. 44 hundredths, 0.44. Did you get it? Yes. Check. Let's try another one. Write this one on your paper. 34 hundredths times, let's make it a 5. 34 hundredths times 5. Press pause while you work. Ready to check? 5 times 4 is 20. Put a 0, carry your 2. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 2 is 17. How many numbers are after the decimal point in the problem? 2. So your product needs to have 2 digits after the decimal point as well. 34 hundredths times 5, that's 1/70 hundredths. How about that? Yes! Give yourself a star if you got that one. The last one I want you to try on your paper is this one, just to make sure you're a multiplying decimals hero. 24 hundredths times 32. Press pause while you work. Let's check it. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. Before going to the next number, go to the next line and put a 0. 3 times 4 is 12. 2, carry a 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Then add up the parts. 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 7. Count how many digits are after the decimal point in the problem. That's 2. So make sure there's 2 numbers after the decimal point in your answer. How'd you do? You think you got this? I hope you rocked it. Thanks for joining me outside. I'll see you later.